Hello! What's good, guys? It's been a while. I always said that I'm gonna upload consistently, but I always end up like uploading 2 videos and then 2 months later I release another video. I just want to say what's up. How's it going, everyone? And let's talk about some Oversoul. So first things first is I want to bring up the whole thing about the role video. Yo, I'm lazy. Dead ass. I always keep putting it off and keep procrastinating. I'm willing to make other videos, but when it comes to making a how to play video for my game, I don't know why I can't do it. But I really need to do it because I realized that the rules that are in the two-player starter set are kind of wrong. You see, there are things that are missing, and also there are some new updated things that I want to bring to Oversoul. I'm not rebooting the game or anything. It's just that sometimes games go through some rule changes once in a while, and this will basically take effect now. Actually, especially since there's a tournament coming up, and people are going to be playing with those rules now. And so far, I've got like positive feedback about this rule change. But basically, what the rule change is, so before soul triggers, whenever you would take damage and you would reveal a card, if you were to get a soul with the trigger icon, that soul would go to the field. Well, now that doesn't happen anymore. Cards, soul triggers that are revealed will now go to your hand. This actually adds a lot to the game because now there's no random RNG that makes you feel bad when you know you're winning and then all of a sudden your opponent gets a soul trigger and then they beat you. Instead, what happens now is these cards go to your hand, and these cards can either be used to reduce damage, use it for your soul gauge, or you can just summon them. And on top of that, because of the way that soul triggers work now, I can actually make soul triggers with abilities and higher level soul triggers, and even soul triggers with shield without it feeling broken. So it adds more design space to the game. Not only that, it actually slows the game down a bit so that when the game does eventually get faster, because that's just a natural thing with card games, when the game does eventually get faster, it's not going to be as bad as it would have been if soul triggers were the way that they were before. But this does buff control decks quite a bit, and it does nerf the rush decks that existed. For those who don't know about the rush decks, there are rush decks which are low level, sort of like uh, I'm not sure exactly how you would call it in other games because I have more of a dual masters background, but pretty much you summon a lot of small stuff and swing at your opponent and try to kill them early. Uh, those do exist. They're called one is an archetype called babies, which is a bee themed insect archetype that revolves around spamming out a whole bunch of like little bees, and then if they die, they go back into their beehive, which is another card. I'll probably make a video of that in the future. And the other, it's not an archetype, but it's more of a creature type. It's a bird deck, and they have synergy with each other. But you don't have to use some of these cards for birds. That's sort of like what I'm planning to do, anyways. Is just have other birds that could work in this deck, but also work in other decks. Which is actually not a bad. It's rush just like babies, but I would say it's a more durable thing. Whereas babies are a lot faster but less durable. And because of the Soul Trigger rule change, this actually made them a lot slower because now they're not getting their like low level stuff out quicker. So I did buff birds though, so their card that lowered the cost of their important birds. Before it was like only level 4 or higher, but now I just made it to where it just reduces the level of any bird, and you get stuff where it's like, oh, this thing is now reduced to a 1 cost. I'm going to summon this for 1 and be able to, and since that thing also lowers something's level by 1, I'm going to use have their abilities lower my 4 costs in my hand to 2, so I can just pay 2 or this level 6 card to like a 4 or 3 cost. And it actually works really, really well. It doesn't feel broken at all, I don't think. Uh, I know a playtester helped me uh, out with it, and they also said it didn't feel broken. So that's actually that's a really good thing. Um, there's also and some of the stuff is set two stuff. So because like set one's already out, and set one has that feeling of like there's a lot of different decks that kind of do a lot of they're kind of like easy to learn and play. Whereas in set two, there are newer decks, but there are also, and I'm a combo player when it comes to TCGs. There are also support for set one decks, and now things are a bit more. You got to use one extra brain cell, I would say, to get your combos going. I would say, one of the worst decks in set one would probably be Firefighters, but with a new support card that they got, they're actually so much better. I would even say that they're probably one of the stronger decks now, because of certain like combos and setups that you can do with it. And when you do go off with Firefighters, bro, they go off. Like that's some real boss monster stuff with Shinjin now. I'm also probably gonna go over the fire card, or not the fire cards, but like each element later, because I really want to bring that up. But besides that, other decks that are I would say a lot better now. I would say Darkness is still good. However, you get the feeling that it might be slowing down a bit. There are cards that are, I would say, I'm not going to lie, in set one, they feel broken, but eventually, when you realize the design of the game and the mechanics that are within the game, and as the game progresses, you can tell that the way that this game is going to evolve, those cards won't be as much as a problem. Will I have a restriction list? That is something I want to talk about, and I want to talk about with some of the players. And if some of you are watching this video, you can just slide that shit in the comments and tell me what you think. Probably on set three, I'll implement a restriction list. I don't think there's anything ban worthy, but if I'm going to do tournaments, I think that a restriction list, maybe some cards being limited to two or one ofs in the deck, might be a good thing. Especially with some of the set two stuff, like there's a lot of strong stuff going on. Fire has like a specific card that I didn't think would be out of hand. Um, but there is a big drawback on that specific card. And for those who don't know, Fire has this thing where just like Light, it has draw power. Light is all draw power and spell destruction because they utilize blessings and they want to destroy those blessings to do stuff. And Fire is all about like small creature destruction, buffing creatures to high amounts of power to activate abilities, and card draw. Well, you have Heat the Kid who bursts 600 if his power or another Fire Soul's power reaches 600 or more. He gets to look at the top three cards. You add a card from there to your hand, and then shuffle the rest of them back into the deck. That becomes pretty crazy. If you're running like let's say firefighters, where it's like you're pretty much running fire everything, and you're constantly buffing everything. That becomes a bit of a problem for the opponent when you're doing some really consistent stuff, and there's really good synergy there. I wouldn't say it's like broken, but bro, that shit's really fucking strong. What keeps it in check is the fact that Heat the Kid is a mandatory effect, and that forces you to lower the deck size, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Because I was playing a game the other night with a friend. It was a 4 player game. Yeah, you can play Oversoul with like up to 4 people, or more if you wanted to. You can even play 2 on 2. It's actually really fun. That being said, I completely decked out. In Oversoul, you lose when you have to go into your deck for a card, and you can't do it, then you lose. Whereas if it's my turn and I draw a card and I have 0 cards left in the deck, then I still have the chance to win the game. But my opponent had a chance to get triggers and reduce all the damage, and if he would have done that, I would have lost the deck out. And so that's one thing that's kind of scary about Heat the Kid, is that you're doing all this stuff, but you also have to keep in mind that your deck is going to drop low, and then it's like you don't want to put too many cards in your deck because it might end up inconsistent. I've noticed that I've learned a lot about my own game. Not saying that I didn't know how it worked before, but compared to how much I know now, yeah, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing before. I did realize a lot of things with the game when it came to me working on set two, and the more I was like testing and I started playing other card games too. I feel like I have become a better card game player, which has I feel like shown in my game design because of because no one was really telling me to make these changes that I'm making to the game. It's just more so me looking at my game, what I want in the long run for it, and how well I want it to work when these things power creep eventually does happen. Because like a lot of people just they don't want power creep in their game. I don't want power creep in my game. I'm pretty sure Kirohh doesn't want power creep in his game. If you don't know who Kirohh is, he's actually a really cool guy. Has an amazing game. It's called Quest for Dominion. I can put his YouTube link in the description. Actually, he's the guy I'm playing against in the video that's playing. Yeah, he's actually a really cool dude. But eventually, power creep does happen, and you can try your best to make sure that doesn't happen. But there are things that you'll always like not notice. I'm so bad with English, and I speak it, and I feel like that's sort of like the part that I love about game design. I would say is the fact that in a way it's kind of like a puzzle. It's weird. You have this sort of thing that you like, that you want, and that you're making, but you also have to kind of think about, you know, I could just do whatever I want and make this game broken, but it'll still be a game that I made and that I love, or it could be a game that I made and that I love, but I want it to be the best version of it that I can make it. And I think that's what I'm trying to do with Oversoul, because I've put so much effort into the game that it's really important to me now. So whenever I do see that, let's say there are things or the way that the meta is going, and this is all do this more so in the players thing. The players decide the meta. uh, Even if they do something that I didn't expect, I like that. I like that, and if it's something that is somewhat of a problem, I accept the challenge in trying to fix things so that it doesn't become as much as a problem as it was before. I forgot what this video was supposed to be about. I'm gonna be real. Oh, and I have noticed that I've gained a lot of subscribers, and I don't really pay attention to my YouTube as much as I should, nor do I pay attention to my social media as much as I probably should, since I really do want to attempt to push this game a bit more. By the way, I do have an Instagram separate than my Mango Instagram. That's for Oversoul specifically. I'll leave that in the description for y'all to check out if you'd like. I'm trying to post every day, but it's kind of difficult. That aside, I've noticed that there's people buying my game. Some people have reviewed my game. There's just a lot more attention to it. And I just want to say to those of you, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for buying my game, taking the chance to try it out, and for taking the time to make like a review and a battle video. I'm talking about you, Runiverse. Thank you, homeboy. Love you. Love me back. Say it back. Anyways, thank you. Thank you for that. It actually really means a lot to know that there are people that are willing to take the chance with my game, try it out, and if they enjoy it, that's fantastic. If they don't enjoy it, I'm sorry, but I still thank you for at least trying my game and for subscribing to my channel to see what I have. Even though I'm very inconsistent with my uploads, that's main real quick, dude, I have mental health problems. That's the main reason why I don't do a lot. Or I upload I my updates to my game are very slow. Uh, it's because I have some mental health problems and it does get in the way. Some of it is some ADHD stuff, lack of dopamine. ADHD is complicated. But seeing this growth, even though I don't do so much with my game as much as I should, really does motivate me. It does make me happy, and it helps me to want to work on it more. Also, for those of you in the HTCG community who probably think I'm a problem child, I'm not. I'm actually I'm chaotic. I'm very caring though. I just have a lot of bullshit vomits through my mouth. And so you get the sort of mango that you get whenever you meet me. I'm not a bad person, trust me. I'm just I just have no filter. Unless I'm trying to be professional and serious, then I have a filter. Other than that, if I'm just like hanging around in the Discord, HTCG Discord, just vibing in the VC or talking to somebody in text, bro, I'm just having fun. And a lot of people should have fun. Man, a lot of people are just so serious nowadays, aren't they? Um, but yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about. I don't know what else. Yo, I'm sorry, I burp. I've been watching too much Wrath, of course. It's a bad influence. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Really, this video is just me talking about like Oversoul and just whatever's going on. I think I kind of like doing these videos because I actually don't get the chance to just talk in my normal everyday life. And even though I do, like I said, oh, mental health, it's a bitch. And so sometimes when talking to somebody, I just feel like discouraged to do so, and it fucks me up. But I guess with this, I'm more so talking to myself since I'm just talking to a mic and I have uh, gameplay going on in the background. It feels a lot better to do it this way. But I could probably use this as therapy for me. No, I'm not gonna do that. But I am working on the game more. I'm probably gonna do more videos like this where I'm just rambling, but I am going to talk about the game. I should really make more videos. You know what? My next video, I'm going to talk about fire cards. Probably in the style of a video because I'm a very unorganized person, and this actually makes it more fun rather than plan for me to make the video rather than planning it out. If I don't, then you have permission. Uh, I don't know. uh, uh, Call me out in the comment section or in the Discord server if anyone's in the HTCG Discord server or in my Mango Street Discord server, because I really got to do stuff. I need to stop being depressed. Help me, please. I want to stop being depressed. But yeah, you guys have a great day. Peace. I love you. Don't catch COVID and have a great day.